Today we're back looking at more people who face the consequences of their actions.
Hey,
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can't really say you're sorry now. Like, you did get in the way of a police car, you can't really be doing that, can you? Look, whenever it comes to protesting, everyone has a right to protest, especially in countries like ours, not some other countries. However, whenever it comes to protesting, there's a way to protest and a way not to protest, and jumping out in front of a police van is a way not to protest. Regardless of your protest and how justified you think it is, don't be an idiot that blocks emergency service vehicles. Exactly, like if you want to protest, you're entitled to that. However, if it starts getting violent, leave immediately. Also, don't jump in front of vehicles like that. You don't jump in front of ambulances, police cars, fire engines. You also don't start to basically destroy your community. Like, I always see protests online where people just burn down their community, and it's like you're literally burning the buildings which people in your community use. Who's gonna be paying for that? Your community. There was an attempt to try not to get caught using a dating app while married. Is it possible to remove an active subscription from the list on my iPhone? I was curious about Tinder, installed it and subscribed for one day, then immediately unsubscribed and deleted it, but it stayed in the inactive list of subscription. I did everything to delete this without success. Now I had a divorce, lost my wife, my child, and $300,000 because of it. Be careful, these people are evil. Never make a mistake by trusting you have privacy. So let me get this straight, you're married to a woman with a child and you decided to download Tinder just because you were curious. Is that really the truth? Let's be honest, married people go onto Tinder for one thing and one thing only, which is the cheat. You also paid for subscription, like you can literally use Tinder for free. If anything, you paying makes it even worse. And obviously your wife found out she left you with the child, now you're £300,000 per her, and you've got the audacity to blame Tinder and call them evil when it was you who downloaded it and paid for a subscription. I mean, come on. Yep, it's the app's fault, alright, exactly, you know, it's just the app's fault. It's the app's fault that he downloaded and paid for a subscription. Yet again, I can't get over that because Tinder is literally free. Like, you can use it for free. If you want to see who's liked you, then you pay, which quite clearly is what he done. How the hell do people cheat? I can't get one person to like me. That's what I've always thought. It's like these people literally are in like 10-year-long relationships and they're cheating with loads of people. Where are they finding the people? Maybe they've got something which we don't have, which in his case is probably money, because he did end up losing $300,000. Am I the a-hole for exposing my boyfriend and stepsister's affair and pregnancy? I mean, I don't really know what to say here because your boyfriend literally cheated on you, so of course you're not the a-hole. Hey everyone, I'm really struggling with this situation and I need some perspective. Here's the story. I, 23 female, been dating my boyfriend Jake, 25, for 3 years. We were really happy, or so I thought. We even thought about moving in together and starting a family someday. I thought he was the one. I feel like a lot of people are in situations like that, and that's why I'm kind of scared about relationships. It's the fact you meet someone, you think they're the one, and then they go and cheat on you with your stepsister of all people. About 6 months ago, my mum remarried and I got a new stepsister, Laura. Laura and I didn't grow up together, but we tried to bond and build a relationship. She's fun and outgoing, so we started to hang out more, and she became part of my friend circle, which included Jake. This honestly makes the situation even worse, because first of all, your relationship quite clearly is ruined. That's now going to put strain in your mother and her new partner's relationship. They've just got married, and within the space of 6 months, his daughter has got with her daughter's boyfriend. Talk about family drama. Everything seemed fine until a few weeks ago. I noticed Jake acting strangely. He was more secretive with his phone and started coming up with excuses to not hang out as much. I chalked it up to stress from work at first. Then last week, I was at my mum's house for family dinner. Laura wasn't feeling well and ended up leaving the table to lie down. My mum asked me to check on her, so I went to her room. That's when I saw Jake's jacket on her chair. Yeah. I knew it was coming and it's just hit us. My heart sank, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions. I understand that, like, you know in the back of your head what's probably happened, but you don't want to believe it, so you make yourself not believe it. We've all been in a situation like that. Later that night, I confronted Jake. After a lot of deflecting and denial, he finally admitted that he had been seeing Laura behind my back for the past 2 months. He begged for forgiveness and claimed it was just a mistake. A mistake is doing something dumb, like, I don't know, calling your girlfriend annoying or something like that, or, you know, like eating one of her biscuits. Having a 2-month affair with her stepsister is not a mistake, that is a choice. But that wasn't the worst part. Laura came over the next day looking distraught. She confessed that she's pregnant and that Jake was the father. She said she didn't mean for this to happen and she was sorry, but she just isn't sorry, though the reason she's sorry is because she got caught. And yet again, it's just typical, like, it's just typical that they have an affair behind your back and now she's pregnant. You know, at least wear protection. I was devastated and furious. I told both of them that they betrayed me in the worst possible way. My mother's heartbroken too, torn between your daughter and stepdaughter. Exactly, like, can we talk about the mother? I feel bad for the mum in this situation. She literally met the love of her life, she married him, and within the space of 6 months, his daughter has screwed her daughter's boyfriend and now she's pregnant. This doesn't need to be in Reddit, this needs to be in Jerry Springer or Dr. Phil. Here's where I might be the a-hole. In my anger, I exposed everything on social media. I posted about their affair and the pregnancy, tagging both of them. The fallout has been massive. My friends and family are in shock, and Jake and Laura are being shunned and harassed online. They're begging me to take the post down, mindset, I've ruined their lives. My mum thinks I went too far and should have handled it privately. So I'm an a-hole for exposing their affair and pregnancy publicly. I feel like they deserve to be called out for their betrayal, but I'm now second guessing my actions. I just don't know what to do. Thanks for reading and for any advice you can give. Put it this way, they're both tragic. This mistake wasn't a mistake. You can't make a mistake like that. It was deliberate. They were having a deliberate affair behind your back and they're not happy with the fact that they were caught and now regret it. Were you in the right or wrong for exposing it all on social media? That's only for you to say, you know, it is your situation. I understand why you done it. Some people don't. You know, some people will agree with it, some people won't. They ruined your life, so why shouldn't you ruin theirs? And what makes it worse is the fact that she's also pregnant. That is just nasty. It's just typical, isn't it? Like, they literally messed around for 2 months. Keep in mind, this wasn't a mistake. This was an affair that went on behind your back for 2 months, and she's fallen pregnant. And then what makes it even worse is you've only known her for 6 months. So if in the space of 4 months she was already screwing your boyfriend behind your back, and now she's pregnant, and she's ruined your mum's marriage probably. You two are family now. You're gonna have to see each other at every single family event. So are you the a-hole now? A 2-month affair and pregnancy doesn't count as a mistake. The only mistake they made was being slousy about it. You know, they could have hidden it so much better. At least wear protection, for God's sake. I just feel bad for their Christmases. Like, their Christmases are gonna be so awkward. Keep in mind, they both live under the same roof. Imagine living with someone knowing they've done that to you. Oh, she meant for this affair to happen. What she really meant was that she shouldn't have been so sloppy that she got caught. Smashing someone for over 2 months without protection isn't an oops, I didn't mean for this to happen. It kept happening over and over again. She's just ashamed that everyone is shunning her, not that she hurt original poster. That's what I'm saying. Like, the only reason they regret it is because they got caught. And she's probably more embarrassed because she has to live under the same roof as you. She is family. Like, it's not like you can just ignore each other. Well, I guess you can. You're gonna be seeing each other. You literally live in the same house. That just needs to get turned into a Netflix series. Honestly, if I were you, I would hit up Netflix and get a little bit of money for your trauma. Missing your husband singing for months because you can't say sorry. My husband has a beautiful singing voice, but one morning I was in a foul mood and he was singing. So I said, could he stop, as his singing could crack concrete. This was months ago and he's not sang once or hummed since then. I want his song back in my life. Have you maybe thought about saying sorry? Like, the reason your husband probably isn't singing is because you've upset and made him feel like he can't sing. So if you miss his voice and want to hear him sing again, just say you're sorry. Or pull out a karaoke machine. Why would you even say that? I get politely asking your spouse to stop, but was insulting him really necessary? What a piece of crap. I mean, put it this way, I understand if you're in a foul mood, you might say things you don't mean. However, have you said sorry? Like, if you miss it that much, why don't you sit him down and say, you know, I was in a bad mood, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. We've all been there and said things we don't mean. However, if he's not sang for months, like, I feel like there's more to that story. What if you actually said to your husband to make him not want to sing, or God forbid, hum in the house around you? Man builds 15-foot fence after his neighbors snitching him and his dogs.
We've all heard the saying, but if you asked one upstate man whether good fences do in fact make good neighbors, the answer would be no.
Oh.
New at 6 tonight, News Force Keisha Foster on why a newly built fence has a Greenville County homeowner furious.
Obviously, it's atrocious. You know, the fence is
ugly.
It's way too high. It blocks the light coming into our sunroom.
Homeowner Dustin Earnhardt no longer likes the view from his backyard on Britton Way in Greenville County.
It's just really a shame that they would put something like that up that could affect someone else's life.
Earnhart is talking about the 15-foot fence a neighbor recently put up.
It's awful. The view from inside our house is completely blocked. We have no ambiance inside this sunroom that we have on the back of the house. It's pretty much useless now. An entire portion of our house now we can't use.
Earnhardt and his wife moved to this home nearly a year ago. He says after living there for several months, they became frustrated with the neighbors' dogs continuously barking at night.
And so myself, in conjunction
I
with
get that.
several of our other neighbors, called animal control.
In August and in January, Earnhardt says he and some other neighbors sent letters of complaint to the Greenville County Animal Control.
I believe the fence was put up out of spite. You know, we have previously had some problems with the neighbors with regards to their dogs.
And there is nothing the opposing homeowners can do. That's because there is no homeowners association for that neighborhood, and there is no county ordinance that deals with the height limit on fences.
I don't know what the impact is of this fence is in terms of a financial recourse in terms of what my property value is what's gonna happen to that.
Keisha Foster, WYFF News 4, Greenville County.
We did try to get a comment from the homeowners who put up the fence. They were not at home. Earnhardt says there is a small chance the fence is on his property. He plans to get a surveyor to come out. If that is in fact the case, the fence will, of course, have to be taken down.
Well, then he'll just move it back a few meters and put it up again. Look, I understand having annoying neighbors who maybe have dogs that bark all day long. Trust me, I've been there. However, what you do is go to their house and explain to them, look, I understand you have dogs. I'm sure they're lovely. They do bark all night. Is there something you can maybe do to try to stop that? That's what most people would do. You don't go to the RSPCA and call them on them. Like, that is how you're going to start some major neighbor beef. Justin should enforce his dominance and build himself a 20-foot high fence. Forget 20 foot, make it 50 foot, make it 100 feet. Make it the tallest fence in America. Humans, you can talk to your neighbors. Getting the government involved is messy work. So if you want to be messy, prepare for petty. Exactly, like that situation could have easily been avoided if they just spoke to the neighbor. I understand not wanting to talk to neighbors, you don't want issues with them. However, if you go to the RSPCA multiple times, that's not going to end well. Low-key, I like the neighbors though. Like, I love the fact that they just put a big fence up. He also wants to bet that that's probably not their main home. That could literally be a holiday home or a second home to them. So if they wanted to, they could just move out of that house and leave that big fence there. But also on the flip side, for that other neighbor, like, that is going to affect the price of the property. Who the hell wants to have a fence looking like that in the back garden? I know for a fact I wouldn't. Well, anyways, guys, that's really fat to do there. That's some people who face the consequences of their actions. If you want to see me look at more posts like this, let me know, definitely will. Press the big red subscribe button. See you all tomorrow for another video.